Hey everyone, welcome to another update of the chapter um, review for marketing, hospitality marketing HOS-245. As you see on the screen here, we've got the landing page. Today we're going to start in part two. Part two is developing hospitality and tourism opportunities and strategies. Okay, so if we dive right here into module number 2 or the part 2's folder, you see everything that we'll need for the chapter information here, our discussion board that's due for this week, and then the test number 2 opportunity that's due on the 30th. Okay, so if we click on part number 2 here, we can see that it's broken down by chapters. This part actually is going to consume 3 chapters for us. We're not going to do chapters 5 and 7. We're just going to focus on 4, 6, and 8 for the time being. And this review will be on chapter 4, the marketing environment. So you can see the objectives here. There's a PowerPoint located for you here that you can go through and follow along as we do an overview here. Also added a day in the life. It's a little excerpt for this community restaurant. Gives you an idea of how things worked at this place. It's a little not too long of a read. Actually, reads a little bit easier than you might think based on how long it looks. But it's really good information. And again, it's a true story case study scenario based information that you can read. Terminology is there for you for our Quizlet flashcards. Chapters 4 and 6 are rather short in terms of terminology, then chapter 8 is a little bit longer, but still gives you information and ways to check yourself on some of those key terms that we see throughout the chapter, points of emphasis, if you will. So as we look at chapter 4, getting right into it, the objectives here, I pulled out 4 key objectives that I think we need to focus on, and one is be able to explain how demographic and economic environments affect our marketing and describe our levels of competition. Okay, identify major trends in a firm's natural and technological environments. Obviously, technological is one of the more important issues affecting the marketing environment in all industries, specifically as we look at the hospitality industry. Key changes that occur in both the political and cultural environments and how that affects our marketing ability. And I discuss how companies can be proactive when responding to these trends. So first we kind of kick off with, the chapter kicks off with the macro and the micro environment. So we think about those two different types of environments and how they affect our hospitality industry and marketing specifically. We consider that the micro environment is everything that the company can be that affects how we or our ability to serve our customers. So this might include not just our own company, but the suppliers, other intermediaries in the market, our customers, and all the public. So that's what we would consider what makes up our micro environment. And then our macro environment is more of those societal forces that affect us as a whole. So that's when we talk about the demographic, economic, technological, political, our competitors, the cultural forces, natural forces, right, of the environment that affect how we serve our customers, right, and our ability to market to them specifically. So again, as we look at all of those and we see, I think it's we've always had competition. There's always been changes in our demography. There's economic changes that are both associated with the demographic environment, but also the continuous changes. We have government oversight, cultural changes, right? The natural environment that affects us, but technology is really the most dramatic force that's shaping our industry today, and how we're able to market and get our products or services, that type of information out to our target customer and really to anyone. So again, technology, big deal. We'll talk about it a little bit here, but then I think it's chapter 14 that gets into social media marketing on top of that. So we see a little bit more information from it there. But when we look back, one of the things we talked about just in one of the objectives was, explain how changes in demographic and economic environments affect marketing and describe the levels of competition. That was one of the objectives there. Really, one of the points of emphasis that I want to make there is understanding what the demographic and economic, patterns are in those trends that we see that kind of change so often. We're kind of in that post-pandemic portion right now, which has changed how we market our products and services to our customers, right? And one thing we see is that while in the pandemic we saw, pretty much by force, but an increase in a staycation, right, and the opportunity to eat in. So what we see now with those demographic changes is we're looking for more as we get out and start to get back out and travel and enjoy things in the hospitality industry, whether it be new restaurants, getting back to our favorite restaurants, or again, travel and trying hotels or whatever it might be. We're looking for that more personalized experience, right? So we see marketing terms and advertising opportunities that you'll see terms and emphasis on flexibility or your way or guarantee, right? So those demographic changes that we talk about based on what happened in the pandemic and how it changed our demographic for each really for the industry, we see those changes there to cater to that side of it. And then economic changes, right? We've seen a lot with how staffing is working and how the supply chain has affected that, and what those economic factors are saying is, really how do we market those products and services? Can we do the same services? Can we offer those same products? Right? Maybe it was one time our biggest seller or our most important or booked service, right? Within the industry. And then all of a sudden supply changes and staffing opportunities or decreases in staffing inefficiencies have really limited that. So it changes the way we market those things, right? The four levels of competition is really, kind of how we see ourselves and how we rank ourselves in terms of who we are competing against. The the example we see throughout the book, and that I'll use a lot, is McDonald's, right? Everyone knows it. Everyone's familiar with McDonald's as a company of itself, for whatever reason. But when we look at the level of competition where we compare ourselves to people that offer the same products and services to the same customer at a similar price, that's kind of one. So that's when McDonald's would say, okay, my competition is Burger King, Wendy's, Hardee's. Okay. Again, similar products and services to that same customer. We're looking for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, fast food, same price range, same customer, right? The next one is we might compare ourselves to someone just making the same class of products. So again, McDonald's, now I'm saying I'm serving just as any other fast food restaurant might do. So McDonald's might say, oh, well, I consider myself along the same lines as Taco Bell or Arby's or Kentucky Fried Chicken, or maybe even something like a Jamba Juice. Okay. And then all companies supplying the same service. Okay, so then we're thinking, okay, our service is to provide food. So I might consider, if I'm McDonald's, consider my competition to be all restaurants and suppliers of food, right? Anything that's even in, let's say, the deli. Okay, and then the next is I might consider myself in competition with someone that competes for the same consumer dollar amount. So McDonald's might say that we're competing with grocery stores and other places that provide any type of meal. Okay, I'm still competing for that $1. So those are the four levels of competition that you see there. Talking about the next objective, when we talk about the technological environment, again, there's so much that's really changed in the environment here, and you can go online and just Google videos of different customer experience type things, but one of them is the interactive customer experience, or ICE, ICE. If you Google that, you can see, and you really can tell this from, let's just say, hotel websites. Make it a little bit easier to make this point, but now you can go in and do a 360-degree room view, right? If you book Airbnb now, typically you can do a walkthrough online and see how it would work, right? So think about Google Maps, where you can just place yourself in the middle of the street and then look around. It's the same type of thing that we're allowing our customers to see to get a better experience before they wind up booking. Obviously, the goal is to impress them that way and do that so that they will book. But it also allows the customer to see exactly what they would be getting to hopefully eliminate any kind of confusion there. Next, we talk about the key changes that maybe occur in the political and cultural environments. So right now, again, like I said, it's so easy to use examples from COVID, right? But think about the changes that have affected how we market our products and services in the hospitality industry when in terms of the regulations that were placed on us through COVID. So in the state of South Carolina, there was a shutdown period for restaurants. No indoor, dining. Everything had to be to go. So it really affected how we changed what we did. Then it was, some states had vaccine mandates where you had to prove your vaccination status in order to come and sit for a meal, right? We also see passport restrictions from country to country. Maybe it's COVID related. Maybe it's not. It could be other things like that. But then you can get even more specific in something that's making its way around the hospitality industry in terms of newsworthy information. The Los Angeles City Council has put on the docket for, I think, March of 2024, where they're going to vote on a homeless ordinance policy that requires unsold hotel rooms to report their numbers to the council each day, and that will allow them to provide vouchers to the homeless to use those vacant rooms. So with this ordinance, whether you agree that it's a good idea to help the homeless population or not is not the focus of this ordinance in terms of the hospitality industry. Okay, think about it as someone trying to market your products and services. Again, let's say it's a hotel convention center, right? Which Los Angeles is known for having these massive conventions because of the sheer volume of lodging opportunities and space, rentable space within the city and surrounding area that people want to go there. So now I'm trying to market this convention to someone wanting to spend, let's say, $1 million on a convention to bring in corporate partners or staff from all over the United States or all over the world, to now have to say, at some point in time, you may encounter a homeless person in the lobby, in the bar, restaurant, whatever it might be. How do you market those same services knowing that that is a possibility? And again, not speaking bad of someone in a homeless situation. That's not the intention here. The intention is to say, this is what we're looking at. How do we market this accordingly? So as we go forward, again, when we look at tech, think about some of the changes in how we've marketed everything in terms of tape to CD to MP3 to cloud-based, right? How marketing changes have gone there. And one thing I wanted to bring to you when we talk about demographic trends is think about how we've changed our marketing towards the baby boomer generation, right? That generation now has children who are becoming older, but they're also savvy in both technology and an active lifestyle. So they're bringing money to the table, right? And they want to travel. They'll spend billions of dollars, but they want to feel active and not feel old, right? But they also value and research their vacations. So we have to make sure that we're marketing accordingly to those things. All right, that's chapter 4. Next, we'll present chapter 6. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to let me know. See you then.